Hello everyone, welcome to this day. It is May 29th. I'm Michael Taylor, good to see you. It's our very last weekend of May coming up here, and welcome June gloom, I guess, soon. Here we go. Spring, all the fun stuff. Memorial Day just happened, so we get all the summertime activities are starting up in the community, and we are going to be doing the same stuff here all summer. Lots of fun. Bree's going to be on vacation. I'll be here. The usual thing for summer. Let's talk about what's on our show today. We're going to welcome Leslie Gabola. Adapt to it. We're going to be out front standing with some walkers. And so it's going to be a walker kind of day, talking about the new inventions and technologies and all the stuff that's going into walkers these days. A lot different from when I was a kid and used to see people on walkers. So amazing stuff, and Leslie's going to talk all about it. And then later in the program, 200th episode of Sports Corner. We're going to run an encore of that one. It's going to be a little celebration with Cole. So there you go. That's our show today. Right now, though, we want to keep you informed. We got a good one for you. Join the pool party. Like I said, summer stuff's coming up, right? So instructor Tracy Murray is going to do Aqua Zumba classes Mondays, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. at Clubhouse 5 Pool, now through September 28th. Participants will dance to motivational music while enjoying unique moves designed specifically for the water. You can purchase a punch card at Clubhouse 5 office or the Community Center Recreation office. Cards are $25 for 5 classes. For more information, go ahead and contact the Recreation Department. Information is there at the bottom of your screen. Is it a good weekend for the pool? Let's find out. Weather-wise, yes. I'm going to say yes, it's going to be a good weekend for the pool. We got temperatures in the 70s for this weekend. A nice little warm up we're going for. Today's going to be our last day in the low 60s and maybe low 70s. And then we're going to have some nice warm up for the weekend. 75 across the board for 1, 2, 3 days in a row. They're all the way to Tuesday. So looking forward to some sunshine and warmer temperatures. Let's take a look at our sunrise, sunset. And what do we got here? Look at that Laguna Beach sunset. Thank you very much, Joel Goldstein, for sending us that one. Beautiful, beautiful shot there. It almost looks like the sky's on fire. Sunrise this morning was 5:42. Sunset tonight is going to be 7:54. If you have a beautiful shot to send us, we'd love to see it from your vacations, pets, places around the community, whatever you got, send it in. Email lagunawoodsvillagetv@gmail.com. Make sure you include your name, where you took the picture, and we'll use it in our sunrise sunset segment. Okay, no meetings to tell you about, but when we come back, we are going to be talking with Leslie Gabola from Adapt to It. Stay with us.
Welcome to Adapt to It, your neighborhood resource for all your home medical supplies. For over 20 years, we've helped Laguna Woods stay safe, prevent falls, and remain independent. We modify your shower or bath for safer entry and exit. Stay mobile with walkers, scooters, and wheelchairs as light as 14 pounds. Our lift chairs provide heat, massage, and a gentle lift when you're ready to stand. And at bedtime, our adjustable beds help you find the perfect position for rest. We're here for all your needs throughout the day. When you can't change it, adapt to it.
And welcome back to the show. If I'm out in front of the desk, that usually means Leslie Gabola's here from Adapt to It, and we've got some gadgets and gizmos and stuff. And as always, you've brought us some walkers today. Welcome to the show.
I did. Thank you very much. Thank you. Pleasure to be here. Yes, I brought my pink and blue walker.
Yeah,
so we have our Tiffany blue.
His and hers, so to speak.
His and hers. And our pink. And, I'm a big fan of color. Mm-hmm. And often I think it makes a difference between using an item and not using an item.
You think so?
Oh, absolutely.
Now, okay, I'm going to ask that. I'm going to go off the subject of the versatility, but do people really come in and say, I want a blue this, or I want a pink that, or I want a red this, before they even look at the size, the model of the thing?
Absolutely.
Really? Okay.
Absolutely.
So color is a big deal.
Color is huge. And so that's why I have so many canes in so many different colors, so many different patterns, because it's often the first thing that they'll be using. Okay. And I ask them, because everybody comes in, I need a cane. Not, I need a cane. And so they're upset, they're sad, it's a transition. So I'm like, what is your favorite color? And then they're like, blue.
It becomes an accessory.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, we've got 10 blue canes. Which one do you like?
Okay.
And then a lot of times that works with the canes. And then the walkers, they come in, I need a walker. And I'm like, okay, what's your favorite color? And they'll tell me, and we'll try to find it, and they'll sit in them and try them. And we always, I mean, we have like, I don't know, 50 walker, not 50, probably 25, 30 walkers in stock at all times. So they'll sit in pretty much every one, try it, put on the brakes, walk with it, do all their stuff, and then we'll decide definitely, you know, which one. And then is it the color they want?
Okay.
And then I'm losing my train of thought.
That's okay. Well, let's get on to the topic of like these walk. And one of the other things people want is the ability to get it in and out of cars, maybe on and off planes. And so that means light, and lighter.
Lightweight, right. And that is the big thing.
Okay.
So lightweight is the going word right now.
Right.
So I brought two of our lightest. This one is 12 pounds.
Yeah.
And there's some walkers that fold like that, and then there's this walker that folds like this.
This walker pops up like that, and you push it together a little bit.
Side to side. So this one will
Pretty
fit
easy.
under something or over something. So if you have a suitcase in the back, in the trunk, it can fit over it easily. It can slip behind the seats in the back seat. It's really super easy to transport.
Yeah.
And then pretty much anybody can lift it because it's really lightweight. And then
about the same for that one.
And
in
this
terms of
one
it folds the same way,
it folds kind of the same way but better.
Yeah.
So this one fits actually in the overhead bin of a plane.
Oh wow.
So you can take it fully with you and then tuck it in, and you can even snap it here.
Oh, so it won't unfold.
So it doesn't unfold.
Oh, okay.
And
That's
it stays
terrific.
like this.
Because I imagine when you go up there and reach for it, you might not have a total grip on the whole thing, and you don't want it coming apart for you on the airplane.
Right, exactly. So this keeps it safe, keeps everybody, you know, from getting a walker on their head. And the only thing about this one is that it has a small seat.
Okay.
So we
for
call
people,
this
people with small seats can have that one of their own.
people with bigger seats.
Now these seats are great. I mean, I'm going to turn my back to the camera here for a second, but I mean, when you want to rest, you
Push
put
down
the
the
brakes on.
brakes.
Yeah, right. Brakes are on, and now I'm moving
Right.
this thing, and I'm not going anywhere.
Right,
So it's
right.
very stable.
It's very
And then
stable, and
brakes are off.
it's a security thing. So,
Right.
you know, if you just get to that point where I have to sit, you can sit.
Right.
And then same with this one, brakes go down, and then you can sit. And this is universal. So no matter what walker you get, you sit the same
The brake
way.
system's usually
Put the
just
brake,
put the brake
on and sit.
Turn around, stable, and the chair's right there for you. You're not walking around. You're not having to release everything. And
Exactly.
there's an adjustability here, right? Because this is a little short for me,
Yes.
but you can adjust these up and down, right?
Exactly. They have, push buttons on the side.
Okay, yeah.
And you just move the handles. We also have ones that are a little bit heavier, but the whole height of the walker adjusts and the handles.
Yeah.
So you get your choice.
And also, if you're traveling with it, you can make it a little bit more compact. If you got to squeeze it, you can actually, and then adjust it back to your size, but that's helpful too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's terrific.
And so you get your choice of wheels too, because these are a larger wheel. They're an 8-inch wheel. And then this is a smaller 5-inch wheel. So again, that plays a role in the lightweight. Sometimes we have bigger ones with the 8-inch wheels that are a little bit heavier, the more adjustable ones.
Okay.
But if that's an issue, you have your choice there too.
Now, when someone comes in and they say maybe they're recovering just from a hip surgery or something that's temporary, I need a temporary walker, they don't need to go for the big ultra deluxe kind of thing, right? You have kind of different variations for what people's needs are. How we need this for a few weeks or whatever it might be.
Yes. And because we rent them.
Right, okay,
So we
perfect.
rent pretty much everything we have, or a version of it. So in case people are just needing it for a little bit, they can get it.
Right, kind of simple way to do it. But for people who have a long-term need for this, hey, I'm going to have this for a long time, you usually want to suit them into something that's going to be fitting to their lifestyle too, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a really nice lightweight thing to get, and you can. They're reasonable, so they're really nice.
Yeah. When people come in, you don't need can they come in with a prescription for that? Is that something a doctor can order? Or you go through Medicare for sometimes to get these things, or can they be ordered that way? Or how does that all work?
Well, we don't bill Medicare for
Right.
anything, so we're not insurance-based.
Okay.
However, if they do bring in a prescription, we can save tax.
Oh, okay.
So in tax is 7.75%. So
Yeah, and
it's almost
sometimes,
10%.
well,
It's a
like
little
for an
bit.
electric chair or something like that can be a big deal. That can be,
Exactly.
maybe even up hundreds of dollars for a high-end chair or something like that.
Exactly.
Right?
So, and that's an easy thing to do, and it's a good savings. And we're reasonable, we're competitive. So, and if somebody's really strapped and needs something, I've always said from the very beginning that I will never turn away somebody because, they can't afford it. We'll make do, we'll do something.
Yeah. And the great thing about coming into your store, as opposed to maybe somebody Googling something and finding it online, is you have just decades of experience. You and your staff have decades of experience.
We do.
You know how to work with people, and you understand their needs because you've probably many times since seeing people come in, I have this, I don't like it because A, B, and C. So you understand all the pitfalls that people can get into at first, right?
Exactly. And we've also been asked multiple times to put people's other walkers together because they get them surprised in a box in pieces, and they don't know how to do it.
Okay.
So our things are all assembled. We will always educate you on them and always be with you too. So you can always give us a call and say, hey, what do you think? Or I need help, or can you come? So we make it really easy on people.
Yeah.
Life is hard enough. So
Life is hard enough. We don't make it any harder.
We're here to make it as easy as possible on you.
And that's the thing about that. It's not just products, it's that service, right? And people come in and I'm sure you have so many repeat customers that come to you for many things.
We do, and we appreciate, we love all of our customers.
Yeah.
It's just been a blessing to be here, and it's been 24 years, so hopefully another 24 more.
So what are some of the things, if I'm coming in, that I should ask about a walker, like in terms of or what do you take me through if I'm coming in, hey, I need a walker, and I don't know what else to ask?
Okay, so when somebody, and we get that a lot.
Okay.
I mean, that's the typical thing. So we'll bring them over to our walker area, and they'll kind of look through them, and I'll kind of start asking them, kind of why they need it, what's going on with them. Are they going to use it for traveling? Do they have to lift it on their own? And that is a big thing.
Right. If they're not going to have a helper, then this is going to be all on them.
Right. But a lot of times, so many more times that I can count, people will come in and say, I want 12 pounds. I can only have 12 pounds. And we'll give them a 12-pound walker. Oh, no, that's too heavy. And so it doesn't really matter how much something weighs if you can lift it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So, or if you can't.
Right.
But a lot of times people say, I need a 12-pound walker, but it turns out they have a caregiver that will be lifting it. And, bless their soul, they're being nice to their caregiver and don't want to give them anything more heavier. But if something a little, a pound or two more makes more sense for them.
Yeah, in terms of the gadgets and gizmos that are on here, the storage and that kind of thing, and the sturdiness.
Exactly. Yeah. Then we can kind of work around that if somebody else is going to be with them. So we're really cognizant of what the whole picture is.
How have you seen the evolution of this change? I mean, I remember when I used to walk, when I was a kid, at the Laguna Hills Mall, when I was in my teens, and I'd see the folks on the walkers who just a metal kind of thing, and they'd have tennis balls on the front of it, and the rubber things on the back, and that was my idea of a walker, and now they've really evolved.
Yeah. Things have changed, and things continue to change, and the tennis balls make us crazy.
Don't do that, people.
Somebody rolls in with tennis balls, they walk out with skis because we will take those tennis balls off and put on our skis. And I've given more skis away than I can tell you because it's that important. The tennis balls wear down before you know it. Then they wear through, and then the walker bottom is scraping on the floor and then wearing down. Right. So you're going to get uneven wear, you're going to get uneven position with your body. It's just a whole thing.
All right, folks. Well, go to Adapt to It on their website. Come visit them in the store. They have all the knowledge, they have the expertise, and everything you guys need. Leslie, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
You're watching This Day. We'll be right back.
Hello everyone and happy Friday. I'm Cole Young. Today I planned something a little different than usual as this is the 200th episode of Sports Corner. Hard to believe this show's been on the air since February of 2022, but it's been a fun journey. And thanks to everyone who has tuned in at any point in the last 200 episodes. For my 100th episode, I went back and looked at some of my favorite moments from this show and re-aired some of those segments. Now, for 200, I decided I wanted to go back and look at some of my favorite sports moments in history. To start this journey, where else would I begin other than the NFL? Not just the NFL, but my personal favorite team across every sport, the Denver Broncos. Back in February of 2016, the Broncos earned their spot in Super Bowl 50 and were set to square off with the top-ranked Carolina Panthers, led by MVP quarterback Cam Newton. That season, the Broncos defense, nicknamed the no-fly zone, led the league in total defense, allowing just 283 yards per game and sacks with 52 that year, carrying the team to a 12-4 record. At the forefront of the defense was edge rusher Von Miller. It was a highly anticipated matchup between a powerful Carolina offense that went 15-1 in the season and one of the greatest defenses of all time. With 6 minutes and 34 seconds remaining in the first quarter, the Broncos sat with a 3-0 lead. On 3rd down and 10, Cam Newton took the shotgun snap. Like he had done all season, Von Miller blew past the right tackle, ripped the ball clean out of Newton's hands, and Malik Jackson recovered the ball in the end zone, giving the Broncos a 10-0 lead. This is one of the most iconic plays in recent Super Bowl history. This strip sack, plus his total 2.5 sacks, including 2 game-changing forced fumbles, helped Miller lead the Broncos to a 24-10 win for their first Lombardi Trophy since the 1998 season. Miller was also named MVP of Super Bowl 50. This game also marked the final game of Peyton Manning's legendary career. Fast forward to January 2018. In an NFC divisional playoff game between the Minnesota Vikings and the New Orleans Saints, one of the greatest moments in NFL history occurred. The Saints took a 24-23 lead over the Vikings with just 25 seconds left in the game. By all means, this game was over. On the last play of the game, Vikings quarterback Case Keenum threw a 27-yard pass to wide receiver Stephon Diggs towards the sideline with all zeros showing on the clock. But Saints safety Marcus Williams dove for the tackle and missed, allowing Diggs to run to the end zone untouched, scoring a touchdown and giving the Vikings the walk-off win. This game was the first in NFL playoffs history to end in a touchdown as time expired. It has since been dubbed the Minneapolis Miracle, and rightfully so. Probably my favorite part of this moment was Joe Buck's reaction live on air. I highly suggest looking it up and listening to it. To wrap up the best NFL moments, I thought I'd include one that isn't necessarily a moment, but rather an entire game. In a mid-November Monday Night Football game in 2018, the Kansas City Chiefs traveled to the Los Angeles Coliseum to take on the Rams. Little did I know this one random Monday in November would be cemented in my memory forever. In this game, the Rams outlasted the Chiefs 54-51. The two teams combined for 105 points, including 21 scored by the two defenses, and the game set numerous other records. The highest scoring Monday Night Football game ever, the highest score by a losing team in NFL history. To date, the Chiefs are the only team in NFL history to score at least 50 points and lose, and the first NFL game where both teams topped 50 points. The game also saw 6 lead changes, including 4 in the fourth quarter alone. The two teams combined for 1,001 total yards of offense. Rams quarterback Jared Goff threw for 413 yards and 5 touchdowns with no interceptions. Tight end Gerald Everett had 49 yards on 3 receptions, 2 of which went for touchdowns in the fourth quarter, including what would ultimately become the game-winning score. Patrick Mahomes threw for a career-high 478 yards, the second highest single-game total in Chiefs history. He also threw for 6 touchdowns, but was intercepted 3 times and fumbled twice. Tight end Travis Kelce also had 10 receptions for 127 yards and a touchdown, and wide receiver Chris Conley added 7 receptions for 72 yards and 2 touchdowns. Basically, everyone on both teams was scoring, and it was the most exciting NFL game I've ever watched. Being a Southern California native, I had to include the 2002 MLB World Series. Since they became a franchise in 1961, the Angels had never even been to a World Series. On the other hand, the San Francisco Giants had won 5 to this point, but none since 1954. So, 2 teams with long championship droughts both found their way to the World Series. To make the stakes even higher, this series went all the way to Game 7. The game was tied 1-1 entering the 3rd inning, and that's when history was made. Left fielder Garrett Anderson hit a bases-clearing 3-run double to push the Angels to a 4-1 lead, and no one knew it then, but that would be the final score of this game. The Angels won Game 7 4-1 to claim their franchise's first and only World Series championship to date. John Lackey became the first rookie pitcher to win a World Series Game 7 since 1909. The great Garrett Anderson, the hero of Game 7, just recently passed away at the age of 53, and he will be remembered forever. If you've watched any of the 200 episodes of this show, you know that I love the Olympics. There's so many incredible and historic Olympic moments throughout history and throughout my lifetime, so it was hard to pick just a few, but I managed to narrow it down to just a few favorites. First, in the most recent 2024 Paris Olympics, swimmer Katie Ledecky cemented her legacy when she became the most decorated American woman in Olympic history. After winning silver in the 4x200 meter relay, she earned her 13th Olympic medal, the most all-time in women's Olympic history. She now holds 8 golds, 4 silvers, and 1 bronze. Next, it wasn't just one moment, but an entire Olympic career. Simone Biles is the most decorated gymnast in Olympic history, and her final Olympic appearance is an iconic one. In 2016, she led the Final 5 to a team gold medal and won individual gold in the all-around, vault, and floor exercise, plus bronze on the balance beam. Then, in 2020, Biles won team silver with the Fighting Four and an individual bronze on the balance beam. However, before the team and individual all-around finals, Biles shocked the world when she withdrew from these events due to her mental health. The world watched and waited, eagerly anticipating her return to the Games in 2024. There, Biles made a triumphant return, leading the Golden Girls to Team Gold. She won individual gold in the all-around and vault and claimed silver in the floor exercise, cementing her status as one of, if not the greatest Olympian in American history. Lastly, for the Olympics, I had to include the most recent gold medal moment. Exactly 46 years to the day since the Miracle on Ice, the U.S. men's Olympic hockey team took the ice to face off with their bitter rivals, Team Canada, with a gold medal on the line. Matt Boldy got on the board for Team USA just 6 minutes into the game to give the United States an early lead. Canadian defenseman Cale Makar then scored the equalizer with 1:44 left in the second period to tie the game at 1 apiece going into the second intermission. The moment that will go down in history as one of the greatest ever in sports came in overtime. Jack Hughes scored the golden goal with 1 minute and 41 seconds to go in overtime to win the 2026 Olympic gold medal in men's hockey for the United States. With teeth missing, Hughes smiled a bloody smile with the American flag draped around his neck. I still get the chills thinking about the ending of this game. Now, moving on to the NBA, a lot of great moments in history come to mind, but none greater than the late Kobe Bryant's final game on April 14th, 2016. After 20 seasons in the NBA, all with the Los Angeles Lakers, Bryant took the court one final time against the Utah Jazz in the last game of the regular season. With the entire Staples Center crowd standing, Bryant made a three-pointer with 59 seconds left. He hit another with 31 seconds left to play, putting the Lakers ahead 97-96. He scored 23 points in the fourth quarter alone. He finished his night and career scoring 60 points and leading the Lakers to a 101-96 win. It was the absolutely perfect ending to an incredible career and a moment I'll remember forever. Lastly, it was virtually impossible to pick my favorite moments across college sports, but somehow narrowed it down to 3. First, I had to include my alma mater. On New Year's Day 2007, the Boise State Broncos made history. Heading into the Fiesta Bowl, Boise State were massive underdogs to the Oklahoma Sooners. Nobody expected this scrappy team from Idaho to compete with a powerhouse like Oklahoma, but they did just that. With just 18 seconds remaining, Boise trailed 35-28. It was 4th and 18, so the odds were stacked against them. Then, the impossible happened when the Broncos called for a trick play. Quarterback Jared Zabransky connected with Dryson James, who caught the ball at the 35-yard line. James quickly flipped the ball to Jared Rabb on a hook and ladder play, and Rabb ran it in for a touchdown with just 7 seconds remaining to tie the game. The game went to overtime, and Oklahoma's Adrian Peterson scored to give the Sooners a 42-35 lead, which put all the pressure back on Boise. They managed to score, but instead of playing it safe and going with the game-tying PAT, Boise rolled the dice yet again with another trick play. Zabransky faked a throw and secretly handed the ball off behind his back to Ian Johnson, known as the Statue of Liberty play, and Johnson ran it in, giving the Broncos a miraculous 43-42 win. It was one of those games that any college football fan will remember exactly where they were when it happened. Next, the 2023 Women's College Basketball Championship game. Caitlin Clark and the Iowa Hawkeyes were set to square off with Angel Reese and the LSU Tigers for a national title. That season, Caitlin Clark became known as one of the greatest players in both men's and women's college basketball history. In that 1 year, she became the all-time Division I leading scorer for men and women, surpassing 3,951 career points, passing LSU's Pete Maravich. She set the women's Division I career scoring record, beating Kelsey Plum's previous record of 3,527. Clark was the single-season points leader with 1,234 points. She had the most 30-point games by any male or female Division I player in the past 25 years. Safe to say, she was dominant. However, that didn't stop LSU. Angel Reese finished the championship game with a double-double, scoring 15 points and securing 10 rebounds, and tallied a season-high 5 assists, and was named the most outstanding player of the Final Four as LSU defeated Iowa 102-85. Their 102 total points were the 4th most they had scored in a game during that season, and the most that had ever been scored in an NCAA Division I Women's Championship game. Iowa's 85 points also marked the most points ever scored by the losing team in a championship game. Additionally, LSU's 59 points in the first half marked a new NCAA Women's Championship game record. This will go down as one of the most iconic games in March Madness history. Lastly, who could forget the Kick Six? In November 2013, the 78th Iron Bowl between Auburn and Alabama kicked off. The number 1 ranked and 2-time defending champion, Alabama Crimson Tide, were massive favorites over number 4 ranked Auburn, but rankings didn't matter that night. After falling behind in the second quarter and then again in the fourth, Auburn rallied to tie the game at 28-28 with 32 seconds left. After the ensuing kickoff, Alabama quickly moved to the Auburn 38-yard line, at which point the clock had ran out, seemingly sending the game to overtime. Alabama coach Nick Saban challenged the timekeeping call, and 1 second was put back on the clock after video review. The Crimson Tide lined up for a potential game-winning 57-yard field goal, but what happened next shocked the world. The kick was short, allowing Auburn's Chris Davis, who had been positioned near the goal line, to catch the ball just in front of the goalposts. Davis ran across the entire field through players from both teams to the opposite end zone, improbably scoring the winning touchdown for Auburn on the final play of the game. Many sports writers consider this the single greatest moment in college football history. I could go on for days about more of my favorite sports moments in history, but that's all the time we have for this week. That was a fun trip down memory lane, and again, I want to thank you for tuning into Sports Corner over these past 200 episodes. I truly enjoy doing this show and discussing sports with you every Friday. Be sure to tune in next time for more news, updates, and highlights from all across the sports world. I'm Cole Young, thanks for tuning in, and I look forward to the next 200.
And welcome back, everybody. Let's talk Friday movie. We got a great one for you. It is The Perks of Being a Wallflower. I remember seeing this in the theater with my daughter, who really wanted to see this movie back in the day. Stars Emma Watson and a couple other good stars there. It's going to be brought to us by Radnet. Going to be 2 p.m. with the subtitles and 6 p.m. without the subtitles. A pair of charismatic seniors take on socially awkward Charlie under their wing and show him to a coming-of-age kind of movie. It's a good one for everybody. It's kind of family-friendly. You'll enjoy that one. And then on Saturday, talking about family-friendly, we got a great one coming up for you. It is The Land of Sometimes. It is an animated film, as you can see right there. Alicia Weir is one of the voices in there, and it's brought to us by Advanced Ear Care. Going to be at 2 p.m. with the subtitles and 6 p.m. without the subtitles. Twins Alfie and Elsie find a magical wish watch on Christmas Eve and are swept up by the wish collector into a musical land of sometimes where they learn that wishes have consequences. There you go. That's an interesting film there. I haven't seen that one, but sounds like it's going to be a fun one. Invite the grandkids over for a babysitting night for your kids, and they can watch that one with you. Should be fun. All right, let's take a quick check of the weather forecast before we head out. And we got some nice temperatures heading into this weekend. Today's going to be our last kind of really cool day of that kind of cool low pressure system that moved through. And we're going to build up some high pressure over the weekend. That's going to bring the temperatures back up into a more normal, actually, for this time of year. Low to mid 70s for Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. So look forward to that. Nice warm temperatures. Get out there and enjoy the pool. Get out there and enjoy some activities, walking around, and watch some of our movies as well. All right, folks, tomorrow on the program, we're going to have an update from Library and Hogue. That's going to do it for this edition of This Day. I'm Michael Taylor. For all of us here at Village Television, we hope you make this day a great one.